So before we do any further with metal, I guess it's time to give a bit more explanation of how I approach to metal materials. So I have this reference right here, which is really good, and it's really important to be able to read as much as possible information out of this reference. So basically it's black metal, anodized or coated in somehow way, but still you can read a ton of different information from this. For example, like here's a fingerprint. It's really slight, it's really vague, but you can still see it. It is there. Same as right there. So you can see those dark, scratchy-like things, which are actually glossy. You can see the same picture right there on a certain angle. You can see that this thing is glossy. Okay, so you can see that noisy pattern throughout the whole. This might be result of the camera and the resolution of the camera, but still I tend to like to do that kind of effect on the gun. So you can see this brighter spot starting from this to there. So you can definitely see those horizontal pattern lines. So there's pretty much a lot of different information, and it's just about on this flat black surface. If we go into like bigger details, so you can obviously see the dirt in here and the heavy edge wear on here, and some wear right there, oil right here, like some crazy stuff going on in here. So it's all really important. Yeah, this thing you can see spot this different spots right there. So it's really important to read your reference properly, being able to get the information, because obviously it's really easy to see those scratches, but those scratches are not enough. You need to have like generally good looking material. So let's try and do that on this slide. Okay, so I wanted to separate these two guys because, well, basically on the reference they are the same material, but I do want to make some kind of separation. First of all, I think I want to get rid of slight edges on this part right here. Let's go to brushes and paint it out like that. Now it's different, just a bit. Okay, let's leave it for now. So in Marmoset, the gloss variation is too heavy as for me. I want to tone it down just a bit. It's not that heavy in substance, but still. Gloss variation, here is it. Let's bring it down just a bit so that there's barely this thing. Okay, so as for those references, let's do some kind of this general material. So first of all, let's export this to Marmoset and see how that gloss variation does look now. Okay. Because obviously there are more post effects right here, right now. Yeah, that's better. You can still see everything there, but it's a bit more subtle. Exactly what I need. Okay. Now we can continue. So what I want to do now is add some noise. Drop it here on the top of this. Yeah. So let's add black mask, add a fill, go to procedurals, and find this white noise. Scale it up a bit. Yeah, like that, and leave only speck and gloss. Turn off gloss for now, even that. Okay, and move it right there. And turn it to overlay. And make it barely seen. Like barely. Yeah, like that. Let's try same trick, but let's scale this guy up dramatically. 0.2 was okay. And make it even more barely see. Yeah, like so. Okay. So I guess I want to do those tiny directional grooves. Direction pattern. Add a black mask, add fill, and let's go with this. Rotate it 90 degrees. and scale it up. Okay, we have this issue right here. You can see the UV is not matching. I'll have to fix that manually. So it is barely seen, but it's actually there. It's easier to be like this way. Now let's just paint it on top. And I guess I want to make it overlay. Like so. And tone it down. Yeah, like this. Yeah, that looks something good. I don't need it right there. Okay, so I guess now it's time to do some variation on gloss. I mean, big variation. Gloss, big spots. Add fill. And let's use these for example. Go to glossiness, turn it to overlay, and you can see how it did pretty nice job already. Barely seen on a gloss map, but it did it. Though I think it gave too much. Let's tone it down. Let's try to do this opposite way. Make it not glossy. And let's scale it up. I mean the texture. And rotate it to find a better pattern which looks better. Okay, let's go back to more glossy. It looks better when it more glossiness. Turning on and off at different places to see if it works. Okay, let's save this thing and drop to Marmoset and see if it works. Right now, we're doing the basic material. I'm not touching it something which is too unique or something like that. Just the basic material. Okay. All right. This looks somehow. Guess there's too much contrast. 0.5. Because the black becomes really black. But so far so good, I think. You can still see all the details. I think I kind of don't like this sharp borders of those spots. Let's see if I can get rid of that. Let's add a blur filter. See if it's work. Yeah, I think it does exactly what it should be doing. Sharp cavity dirt. It looks too bright on diffuse. Too bright. Should be darker. And I guess it can be even more. Yeah. Let's export and see the difference. Right here. And yeah, I guess it did. Pretty nice job. though I guess it's too much at some point. Whoops, I was touching the wrong one. Yeah, this. All right. Can do more contrast. Okay, now I want to do some of the same big spots on a specular map, because there's definitely some difference on specular. Let's call it spec big spots. Let's keep everything except, turn off everything except specular. Go to specular, set to overlay. Set a different color, brighter, for example. Do the same thing. Okay, it did something. Some sort of like that, but that's too much. Turn it on and off and see if it makes any difference. That's too far. Really hard to find that perfect spot when it's still visible, but not that crazy, you know. Okay. Okay, another cool thing to do is to have take this slide edges and do the same trick I did on the trigger. Let's go and change the specular, for example, to a quite different tone. For example, reddish. And dark. Some sort of like that. And change the parameters of the mask. For example, you can invert it and do this crazy, what it does, what it did, I don't know. Okay. This thing does like a general variation of the specular. Yeah, this does really good job. Whoa, and it's also gloss. Okay, let's replace this paint layer with another paint layer. And now fill it in. Don't do that. That's quite a dramatic change in general specular color, but I think it's cool. It gives nice variation, more interesting. Parts are popping out. Let's see in the marmoset how this looks. So, like general generators in Substance is a cool tool. You can invert it, play with it, tons of parameters, and you can have this like really unexpected result. And it's really easy and cool, and there's no need to hand paint those things. Okay, this definitely did something. Okay, so I guess I'll go with it for now. I don't like that gloss variation that we did before. Somehow it, yeah, those gloss big spots. Let's re-export without it and see if it's better or not, because I'm not a fan of that. Well, no, it was doing a nice job actually. I can tone it down just a bit because it was too much for me, but it served a nice purpose. Okay, so turn it on, back. Maybe I can try to do some different grunge mask or turn down the contrast. Yeah. Okay, let's try another procedural texture. This is quite a different effect that I was searching for. No, this is I can save this for later, because this is kind of cool thing, but I like to do those manually. So let's go back and search for better mask. Well, that's too much. Okay, this looks not bad. Let's try this guy. I don't like this, guys. This here. Though it looks nice from far. Well, generally speaking, it looks good, but I don't like just certain parts. I can paint those out manually. Delete that blur, add a paint, and let's just cover this thing here, that thing there, this thing here. Do I have more of that? Like that. Okay. So another thing I want to do is darkening on those serrations, because those guys are too clean now. Let's add a new layer, call it Serrations Dirt, add a black mask, add generator dirt, turn down the grunge amount. Now let's play with specular and gloss and diffuse. Dark brownish color and not glossy at all. Almost not glossy at all. So you can see this works not only for serrations, but just for heavy cavities. Guess I want to make it a bit more desaturated and less glossy, even more. Like that. Now I want to play with generator. Yeah. Yeah, that works. That works good. Let's export it and see. Okay, this dirt stands out too much somehow. Looks better in substance. So I think I should do the serrations spec as well, because it's too bright. Overlay. And gloss. Yeah. Add a black mask, generator, dirt, crunch amount, sort of like this. Specular, not that dark. And I want it to be only there. Yeah. And now dirt can be even more not glossy. Now let's export it. Okay, yeah, this looks much better. It's not shining out that much. Yeah, just good.